Hello everyone, my name is Patrick and welcome to IELTS Hanoi Live. Today I think we've got a fun and interesting lesson for you. We're going to be looking at listening and we're going to be looking closely at the section 1 of the listening and taking a closer look at that for IELTS. Maybe you don't know who I am. As I said before, my name is Patrick O'Grady, and I've been teaching English for a long time. I was in Korea for 5 years. I keep getting this whole thing mixed up. I'm sorry. I was in Korea for 3 years. I was in Saudi Arabia for 5 years, and I've been teaching in English for about, in Vietnam for about 10 years. And maybe you don't know what IELTS is about, and let me tell you a little bit about it. IELTS is the International English Language Testing System, and it tests you on a number of different things. It'll test you on your listening, your reading, your writing, and your speaking. Today we're going to be looking at listening and a little, and specifically the listening part 1. So, maybe you don't know about the listening test. I can tell you a little bit about that too. The listening tests last exactly 30 minutes. And after the 30 minutes, after you've done your listening, you have an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. The listening test is broken into 4 different parts, and I think I might have said that. So let's take a closer look at section 1 now, shall we? Section 1 is often testing you for listening for specific information. And often how they do that is to have you listen to a conversation. It's almost always a conversation, and it's quite often it will have someone making a booking, maybe at a hotel or maybe for a class. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is making a little booking for a class. So, if you were making a booking, what specific information do you think a receptionist would ask from you? What would they ask? Let's see. What personal information do you have that the receptionist would ask? Let's see. How about this? How about you're going to ask for your name? Sure. Might also ask for your address. Okay. Well, actually, I've written a few things down, so let's go through it. Some of the things that they very well might ask you is your name. So don't forget your name. Don't forget to listen for that name. They're also going to quite likely ask for an address. What other personal information do you think they might ask? Well, I've got a few more things. I'm going to fold the paper so you don't get too far ahead of me. The telephone number. They may very well ask you, they're not going to ask you. In the conversation, they will be asking and receiving a telephone number, and you're going to need to write that number down. Other information they might ask for is an email. So, again, you're going to have to listen and write that key information down. Finally today, there's a couple other things. The specific information they might ask for is a start date. When will the course start? And finally, they might ask you to write this information down is a price. So let's go through this. What I'd like to do today is give you guys a bit of an exercise, and I'm going to give you some information. Specifically, we're going to go through name, address, telephone, email, start date, and price. And what I'd like you to try to do is write the key information down below. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I don't have a pen. I don't have a computer right now. So I have no idea how many people are talking, and I can't really get back to you. But trust me, I'll be there in spirit. And if you can write it down below and see if you can get it, I think that would be excellent. So, let's start. The receptionist might say, could you give me your name, please? And I would say, my name is Patrick O'Grady. How do you spell that? It's spelled P-A-T-R-I-K-O-G-R-A-D-Y. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. P-A-T-R-I-C-K-O-G-R-A-D-Y. Okay? Second question, what's your address? Let me spell that for you. S-O 39 Guanhua. All right? So 39 Guanhua. Okay? Name, address. Could you tell me your telephone number, please? Certainly. My telephone number is 04 2219 7674. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. It's 04 2219 7676. And could you tell me your email address, please? Certainly. My email is info@englishhanoi.com. Can you spell info for me? Sure. I-N-F-O at englishhanoi.com. And when does the course start? Well, the course starts on March 15th. And finally, they will say, and how much does the course cost? The course costs 12 million Vietnamese dong. 12 million Vietnamese dong. So, as I said, what I was hoping you would do is write the key information down, and let's see if we can do it. So let's go over the different things you might be asked. And first of all, I was asked to spell my name. So let's see if you got it right. Patrick O'Grady. And I did something kind of silly there. I misspelt it there without the C. P-A-T-R-I-C-K. When you're doing the test, please be careful, as often the test will try to trick you. And they're going to say it, have it spelt one way, and then say, oh, I'm sorry, I actually mean it's this way. Okay? So be careful and just listen for those cues. When someone says, I'm sorry, oh, that's not quite right, then you know you may need to rewrite the name or information that you've been given. So that was the first one. The second bit of information was the address. Yeah? So I'm not very good at pronouncing Vietnamese, so I spelt it out. There we go. S-O 39 Guanhua. All right. Quite easy. And I think it's pronounced so. So? Did I do that right? I don't know. Maybe, let's hope we did. So that's the address. I was also asked for the telephone number. Do you remember what the telephone number was? 04 2219 7676. And again, I did that silly thing where I made a mistake at the end, and but I corrected it. So what was it? 04 2219 7676. Okay. So we had name, address, telephone number, email address. Right. The email address is, what did you write down? Do you remember? info@englishhanoi.com. All right. info@englishhanoi.com. And I'm often asked, what the heck is that? I call that at. And I would spell that A-T. But I don't spell like that. It's just a very quick at. So info@englishhanoi.com. This little thing here, we call that a dot. Right at the bottom there. It's a dot. Email address, and we went on what is the start date? And if you'll remember, it was March 15th. March 15th. I hope you wrote that down correctly. March. And remember, watch that ch sound at the end. That ch for pronunciation is very difficult for Vietnamese. Okay? And the price. Do you remember? 12 million VND. 12 million VND. So, there we go. That brings us to the end of the lesson for today, everyone. Today, I just wanted to quickly review part 1 of the speaking test. Of the listening test. The listening test is going to test you on listening for specific information, writing it down. Be careful about when the recording makes a little mistake. They'll correct themselves in that. Very important to pay attention to that. Thank you very much for watching. That's all I've got for you today, everyone. Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.